My name is Dumsor, and I welcome you to KenTech 9060, a YouTube channel to educate you on renewable energy and the relevance of power system. In today's lesson, we are probably going to talk about load shedding, Dumsor in Ghana, and the official language for this educative lesson is probably going to be the Ghanaian language, Twi, and English language. Electricity supply in the past few months has not been reliable. Nti ekoba bi te say cars one time omo light 12 hours a day. So for the 24 hours, they will only receive light for 12 hours. Oba Kumasi so Kenya UST campus, the light has been on and off. So at this point, we want to really understand the power system of Ghana. Then they did Dumsor ne ba kwan ben ye befa so a ye besi Dumsor na anu akwan. So for today, we are basically going to talk about Dumsor, and this is the definition of Dumsor. Load shedding is accomplished by switching out selected feeders on the distribution system, thus cutting off power to some customers. So when we talk of the power system of Ghana, it's basically made up of three components. We have the generation, transmission, distribution. Now, the primary role of the generation is to supply power, and in Ghana, VRA, which stands for Volta River Authority, is in charge of generating power. Then for transmission, once the power has been generated, we have to transmit the power from the generation stations to the load centers. Nti yanya power na wie wo, let's say Akosomo no, and see a transmitted power ni free Akosomo back Kumasi, and Gridco transmits the power from let's say Akosomo to Kumasi. Now, when the power gets to Kumasi, we now need to distribute the power to the various homes. And ECG, which stands for Electricity Company of Ghana, is mandated to distribute the power together with Gridco. So ECG takes care of the southern part of Ghana, whilst NEDCO takes part of the northern part of Ghana. So when ECG is distributing the power, so obia timinya power ni bi stand obetimi dey aye the daily activities, because energy is the ability to do work. Without power, there's no way we'll be able to carry out our life activities. But ye onyema bebra e dey load shed na na Dumsor ba, and these are some of them. One is extreme bad condition, maybe in sweater and from a bo. Remember, this electric poles that transmit the power from Akosomo to, let's say, Kumasi, most of them are wooden structures, are old, until so Tottenham from a bar, post ni bitimi ebu. And in that case, we can have what we call Dumsor. Power never call off at that place unless they come to rectify the situation before light will be restored. Another one is sharply increase in demand, and this is where we will base our analysis, the sharply increase in demand. Then thirdly, unplanned generation plant outages. Then the last one is unexpected damage to equipment. So we realize that the generating power near the equipment near Juma, and we have what we call unexpected damage, even though we've been maintaining the system. But once a while, the system will break down. And whenever we have the unexpected damage to equipment, so the equipment that we are talking about here are turbines, the electric poles, turbine, generators, isolators, transformers. So having learned the concept of load shedding or Dumsor, let's look at what is happening in Ghana currently, what is causing the Dumsor, and that is from point number 2, which is sharply increasing demand. So let's talk about point number 2. So now let's look at how sharply increasing demand results to Dumsor. So when you talk of sharply increasing demand, What we are talking about is now the generating centers, let's say Akosomo na produce power ama yɛn no, ɔno produce let's say 30 megawatt. Now, yes, why you demanding power, and we are demanding for 50 megawatt power. So what it means is that power na here free Akosomo is even more than Akosomo a producing. So in that case, we need to do what we call load shedding, such that the Akosomo de ban yɛbɛkyekyɛ ne kakra ma obiara nya bi, so that we don't affect the power system, because in any power system your generation should be equal to demand plus losses. Now, when the demand exceed generation, what it means is that the frequency of the power system will be affected, because frequency, which is the rate of oscillation, is directly proportional to the speed of rotation. So when the demand of the system is more than generation, the speed of rotation of the turbine decreases. And when the speed of the turbine decreases, it will affect the frequency. And remember, Ghana, we are operating at a frequency of 50 Hz. So one year, na say one amount of generation na match demand plus losses. Na demand never be a chain generation, and you still want to supply power without shedding the load or without being what we call Dumsor. You affect the power system, and the frequency of the power system will be affected, because the frequency is directly proportional to the speed of rotation. Now, what also happens when the generation exceed demand? It means that we have what we call surplus power. And in that one also, since frequency is directly proportional to the speed of rotation, the speed of the rotation will increase. And when the speed of rotation increase, it will also affect our frequency, because frequency will also go up, which is more than the 50 Hz. So in any electrical system, our generation should match demand plus losses. So whenever the demand is greater than generation, then we need to resort to what we call Dumsor. So currently, if Akosomo is producing 20, let's say, megawatt, and we need about 50 megawatt, what we need to do is to do what we call Dumsor, or shed the load, such that the frequency of the power system will be maintained. If we don't maintain the frequency of the power system, it's likely that the entire power system will be affected, because we need to still operate at a frequency of 50 Hz. Lastly, let's look at how to solve Dumsor. Yɛnhwɛ ɛkwan a yɛbɛfa so a yɛbɛtumi solve Dumsor. And to me personally, what I think or believe is we need to increase our installed capacity. So we shouldn't just rely on Akosomo and thermal plants. We should also invest in renewable technologies. Ghana, I always see a no so we can generate energy from the sun. So the issue now is we have to now generate energy from renewable sources and integrate it to the national grid. In doing so, we will have a large network, or the installed capacity will increase. And once the installed capacity increase, our generation will either exceed demand, and even once the generation exceeds demand, we can even, because Ghana, our network is interconnected with that of Benin, Togo, and Nigeria. So if we are able to integrate renewable sources into the national grid, Now you're generating more power. We can, once the power network is interconnected, we can sell the surplus power to these neighboring countries, because currently in Benin, less than 50% of the people have access to reliable electricity and they need power. So we can now invest in renewable energy, integrate it to the national grid, and once our generation exceed demand, the surplus, we can also sell it to the neighboring countries to generate income or to generate money. Thank you for watching Kentech 96 TV. Please, if you've not subscribed, kindly do so.